Have you ever planned what you thought was an amazing lesson, only to watch your students struggle? Or perhaps you spent weeks teaching a standard with fun activities, only for your students to completely miss the point? You're not alone. The truth is, most of the time when lesson plans don't work, it's because teachers have skipped one crucial step. And it's really not your fault because no one taught you this. By the way, I'm Corbella Guy, and I have spent years helping teachers just like you dial in their lessons so that their students learn exactly what they need without the unnecessary stress. Here's why lessons tend to not work. We jump straight into planning activities without truly understanding what the standard is asking us to teach. Now, go ahead and drop a comment below and tell me what your biggest lesson planning challenge is. Because today I am going to show you the game-changing step that transforms confusing standards into crystal clear lessons. It's called unpacking standards. And by the end of this video, you will never have to wonder if your lesson will work again. I want you to think of standards like a wrapped present. Until you unwrap it, until you unpack them, you don't exactly know what's inside. Once you unpack a standard, you know exactly how and what to teach your students. So what exactly is unpacking standards? It's the process of breaking down the learning standard into its essential parts to understand exactly what students need to know and be able to do. You become a detective because you're looking for clues about the skills and knowledge your students need to develop. When we unpack standards, we're looking for two main things. First, we're looking for nouns, or the content, the knowledge students need to learn. Then we're looking for verbs, the skills that students will need to demonstrate. Now, for our youngest learners, this clarity is especially important because we need to make abstract concepts concrete and developmentally appropriate. So why should you even take time to unpack standards? Well, let me share with you 5 game-changing reasons why. First, crystal clear goals. Instead of just guessing what to teach, you will know exactly what your students need to learn. No more wondering if you're on the right track. Second, focused teaching. Every activity, every center, every story time will have a purpose. Your instruction becomes laser focused on what matters the most. Third, better assessment. You'll create observations and assessments that actually measure what you're teaching. So no more of this mismatched test with confusing results. Fourth, team consistency. When your whole pre-K or kindergarten team unpacks standards together, everyone's on the same page. This means equitable learning for all students, no matter which classroom they're in. And fifth, flexible planning. Once you understand, deeply understand the standard, you can adapt it for different learning styles. You can connect it to different subjects, and you can meet children where they are. Now, let's see this in action. I'm going to unpack a typical kindergarten literacy standard with you step by step. So here's our standard. Students will identify and produce rhyming words in spoken language. Typical. Step 1, identify the verbs, the skills. First, I highlight the verbs, the action words that tell us what students need to do. So I see identify and produce. These are my skills. Step 2, identify the nouns or the content. Next, I highlight the relevant nouns and adjectives if needed, telling me what students need to know about. I see rhyming words and spoken language. This is my content. Step 3 is about understanding depth of knowledge. Before we can determine the depth of knowledge of this standard, let's quickly review depth of knowledge, or DOK. DOK has 4 levels and tells us how deeply students need to think. DOK level 1 is all about recall. So simple recall, recognition, basic facts. Think, can you point to the red apple, or what letter is this? DOK level 2 is skills and concepts, using information, comparing, explaining how. Think, how are these two animals the same? Or put these in order. DOK level 3 is strategic thinking. So analyzing, justifying, creating connections. Think, why do you think the character did that? Or what would happen if? And DOK level 4 is extended thinking. So long-term projects, research, connecting multiple ideas over time. For pre-K and kindergarten, we mostly work with DOK 1 and 2, but we should be planning some DOK 3 experiences as well. Now let's get back to our standard. What level of thinking does this standard require? Identify rhyming words equals level 1, which is recall and recognition. Produce rhyming words is DOK level 2, which is application of the concept. This tells me I need both recognition and creation activities. Step 4, break down for development. Now, for our young learners, I need to think about progression. So first, can they hear rhymes in familiar songs and poems? Then, can they identify when two words rhyme? And finally, can they create their own rhyming words? Then move on to step 5. Planning learning objectives. Now I can write specific learning objectives for my lessons. So students will be able to clap along to rhyming songs and poems, or students will identify rhyming word pairs from picture cards, or students will generate words that rhyme when given a specific word, or students will create their own simple rhymes. Next, I have step 6, which is assessment. Finally, I can now plan assessments like observations during rhyming games, or one-on-one rhyme identification with picture cards, or recording students as they create their own rhymes, or a portfolio, a collection of their rhyming work. Here are some special considerations when you are unpacking standards for our youngest learners. Make it concrete. If a standard mentions abstract concepts, think about how to make them tangible. Use manipulatives, visuals, and hands-on activities. Consider development. A standard might be perfect for May kindergartners, but may need significant scaffolding in September. So plan your progression. Think multisensory. How can students see it, hear it, touch it, move it? Unpack standards with all the different learning styles in mind. Plan for play. Every standard can be taught through purposeful play. So as you unpack, brainstorm center activities, games, and playful learning opportunities. Family connections. Consider how families can support learning at home. What simple activities could extend the standard beyond school? Now, comment unpacking if you've made it so far in this video. Remember, unpacking standards should ideally be led by your admin team. But if it's not happening at all at your school, you can still do this work by yourself or with your grade level team. Here's your action plan. Choose one standard you'll be teaching in the coming week. Follow the unpacking steps we demonstrated. Plan one activity based on your unpacked understanding. Try it with your students and see the difference. When you unpack standards, you transform from someone who teaches activities to someone who teaches with purpose. Your students will feel more successful and you will feel more confident. Remember, once you unpack a standard, you now know exactly how and what to teach. For even more instructional strategies, click on the video that's on your screen and I'll see you over there.